Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and I'm here to host our show, Life, Laughter, Happiness. By the way, I hope everybody heard that countdown. That's the sign that we are right where we should be. We didn't hear that yesterday. So I have my co-host Barbara here. Are you there, Barbara?
I sure am. Can you hear me
today?
You
today. Yes.
Okay, great.
Yay.
Great.
And I have our guest today, which is Brenda Warren. Now, let me explain where I met this lady. I'm always signing up for things and looking for things that I can do to help promote the show and promote our TV channel and promote the community that we're building more and greater. Well, I saw a thing called Be on TV. It was called the Be on TV Challenge. And basically what it is you learn how to make a pitch to be on television better, to where you're more likely going to be noticed or, more likely going to get your words across, what people look for, et cetera, et cetera. And they had a contest. I think it was for, I don't remember if it was most engaging or something. It was this like grand prize winner. And I wanted to know, when I saw the grand prize winner and I heard her story, I was kind of taken aback by it, because it was like, she literally she scraped away the money to buy not only the challenge, but the B-Seed Accelerator, which they were selling. And basically and then she was telling a story about how, we agreed that we could talk about this yesterday.
Yes,
you
we
were
did.
very, you were like suicidal. Am I not mistaken? Any mistake?
Well,
and
hello. Just a minute, please. Hello.
Hello.
I would like to say hi to Brenda. Johnny.
Hello, Brenda.
Hello, how are you all?
Introduce me?
I wanted to give you some background, but go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
Well, we've done the background. Now you're going into the questions. So, hi, Brenda. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm so glad that you're able to come back today, because yesterday of the technical problems, nobody could hear each other. So I'm so glad that you're here today, and it's wonderful to have you on the show.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. I was asked to come yesterday. We had some technical difficulties, but being a former Marine, you understand when there are difficulties, you just overcome and adapt, and I'm here today.
Oh, my gosh. So then you're saying that you are a former Marine?
Yes, I'm a former Marine gunnery sergeant. I did 20 years, and then I retired.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much for your service.
Thank you.
Yes. And you know what? I am connecting with you now. I'm typing in your name in Facebook. So everybody, listeners, while you're listening to the show, do that as well, so you can see who we're talking about. Brenda Warren. She has a picture of herself. Half of the headshot circle is of you in one photo in your uniform, which is amazing, beautiful. And the other one, just you, and you are so beautiful. You can feel the joy coming from you. Yes. So, wow, you're in a good place in life now. You did 20 years, had a great career in the military, and decided, hey, I want to be on TV. I want to have my own TV channel.
Well, actually, no, I didn't.
Like, how did, no? Okay. What happened?
No.
How did you get to this point? How did you meet Johnny and all that?
Well, the thing is, I retired from the military, and I went into work at the hospital. I became a director at a hospital. I spent 13 years there, and one day it was time to go, because I had a complete mental breakdown, and it was time to exit stage right. So I left the hospital, and I spent the next 8 years hiding in shame, because I was diagnosed with PTSD in 2011, and I didn't tell my family, I didn't tell my husband, I didn't tell my coworkers, I didn't tell my boss. But by 2013, the symptoms were so bad, and the doctors had over-medicated me while I was trying to hide my condition, that I had a complete mental breakdown. And
I hold on, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm
go
thinking,
ahead.
okay, if you have PTSD, what did you see? You must have seen something. Were you in combat?
Yes, I was. Mine is service connected, and I also unfortunately had military sexual trauma, which also made the PTSD worse. And by the time I got to 2013, I was mentally, emotionally, and physically damaged.
Do you think it's because you held all that in for so many years?
Yes,
and
because
felt
I held it
ashamed, and you were not just ashamed, because I would imagine being in the military, there's a certain way that you carry yourself, and you have this way that you want to be perceived, and how you were feeling wasn't really what you wanted people to see, this raw, damaged, survivor of trauma.
Correct.
Basically.
And what most people don't understand is even when you have these diagnoses, you can still function. And I was functioning, and I was an award-winning director. However, when I came home, I would just hide in my bedroom. I didn't interact with my family. They all knew something was wrong, but nobody knew what it was. They just considered it was stress, and nobody asked any questions. So by the time I had my breakdown, it was like really bad. And how I ended up meeting Johnny was that on the 26th of July this year, although I have been in counseling and I've been working with people and helping other people solve their problems, I wasn't solving my own. And I'd hit another dark space, rock bottom, because I had not been taking my medication and I hadn't slept in 5 days.
Wow.
Now that's
a long time with no sleep.
I'll tell you something about not sleeping. It does interfere with your logic. I've had seriously, you start thinking people are madder at you that aren't. You start thinking that you start thinking that like little arguments turn into huge arguments.
Absolutely.
And you get sad. You start crying at the drop of a hat. You're very emotional. So everything just is like seeming worse. And you can even be crying and you don't even know why. You're like, what's wrong with me? Why am I feeling like this? Because I had no sleep the other night, and I was so weepy, like I was just crying at a commercial. It just was like, I just did not know what was wrong. And I'm like, hello, Barbara, you didn't sleep very well last night at all. That was just one tossing and turning night. You didn't sleep for 5 days.
I didn't sleep for 5 days, and I'm in working with a sleep study, but you can get to a point when you're in my stage where you think you're okay, and your brain, like you said, your brain's not thinking correctly. But I had hit a wall. That was on the 26th of July. But I was fortunate. I called the crisis hotline because I do have a little card on my wall. I have a protocol for when I hit a bad space. What do you do? Who you call? What do you take? Those kind of things. So that night I did call the crisis hotline, and I was fortunate. I received a person on the line who was able to talk me, what we call talking off the ledge, and they suggested that I take some medication and get some sleep and then get up in the morning and find something to do to keep me busy. So that morning, July 27th, I woke up. At 6 a.m., I saw the Be on TV challenge in my Facebook feed. I had no desire to be on TV, plus it costs money. So I went and took my morning walk and did my morning Facebook video. But something kept tugging at me to go do it. So at 7:57 a.m., I signed up for the Be on TV challenge, and it started that day at 2 p.m. And by that afternoon, I had done a Facebook post about my badass moment, because one of the assignments was to write out when you remember you were bad. Remember that, Johnny? And
yes,
it
mine was
everything.
Graduating from college. Yes.
Yeah. And
everybody's was different.
everybody's was different, and one of mine was the fact that my badass moment was basically that over the past year I had lost 51 pounds. I had walked away from a 23-year toxic marriage, and that I was helping people. And I talked about
great.
that a little bit. So,
okay, so that's good. That was a positive thing.
yeah.
That was so positive. So, wow, it's kind of like there was some force, who knows, God, the universe, whatever you might be into spiritually, was pulling you to doing this.
Yes.
It's pretty
I believe that.
I feel like we're going to hear about it kind of changed your life.
It really did because 1.5 thousand people saw that. It had 1.5K views is what it said, and I didn't know that until a couple of days ago, actually. But what was the interesting thing about this is I'm going through this process with Johnny. We're learning how to do simple structure stories, how to do pitches. I'm being invited on television programs. I even got asked to do a television program, which I'll be doing this Friday. I'm going to be hosting the editor's desk at the Brooklyn Cafe TV show every Friday at 2:30.
Wow, it's an ongoing regular spot, huh?
Yes, at least for the next 4 Fridays, and then we'll see what happens after that. You know, it depends on viewership, sponsors, that kind of thing. But it's something fun to do. I got invited to do this show with you and Johnny. So there's a lot of positive things. I also got new coaching clients. So there's a lot of things that came out of here. But here's the thing that is most impressive to me. I started getting private messages from total strangers. And the one that stands out the most is from a lady whose 14-year-old son had committed suicide. And she wasn't able to get out of bed. But she saw one of my Tell Yourself Tuesdays. And she told herself to get out of bed and take care of her other kids. And she reached out because of the Be on TV challenge. Now, I don't know about you, but when I saw that, I thought, oh, my God, I almost wasn't in place so that woman could take care of her babies because I was being selfish. But she was just one of many people that started pouring their hearts out to me about why my voice mattered. You see, I call myself voiceless. I can find solutions.
Okay, you cut out one. For one split second, you cut out. That's why you call it what?
I said I've always called myself the voice for the voiceless.
Oh,
and I almost wasn't
like
there
that.
for someone that didn't have a voice.
Almost. But
so
you weren't.
It's important
you
to
were
me
there.
now. Right. It's important to me now to make sure that I help voiceless people find their voices.
I love that.
Voiceless.
Tell the listeners, you won. You won this contest. And now if you're telling me that one post to join the challenge got 5 million viewers, how many people signed up for this competition, this contest? Tell us how many, if you know, and you're the winner. I want to know. It must be
I know weren't there about 300 people in our community, Johnny?
Yeah, it was. I know that I'll never forget because I was in a Zoom call when they announced it, and it was so interesting because of the story that she is. It's like this wasn't even. You really weren't even interested in being on television. You just sort of thought, what? It was just sort there. But what you're finding is you're finding that are going to help you, and then you can help them. So, like for instance, it's going to be that it's sort of like because of that, that's what you're getting into, which is really a great thing. I mean, it's like, and honestly, like the whole thing about as soon as you said 5 days without sleep, I immediately thought, God, my brain would not work right with the 5 days of sleep. It wouldn't even function right.
And that's what I'm saying. You get to a place. The problem is that I would say I've always been considered an overachiever, and I know I'm supposed to take my medication, but the reality is you start feeling good, you start telling yourself you don't need it. The truth is, for me and my mental issues, I need my medication, and I have to stop pretending like I don't. But I've allowed shame and the stigma to, number one, make me not take it like I should, and also not talk about it. But after this particular situation that just happened, I'm no longer going to hide in shame. I'm not going to worry about what people think or what they say, because I know I have a voice, and I have to speak up for all those people that aren't able to speak up right now.
Oh, I love that. And your life since July has changed, because that's a huge realization. Oh, wow. And you're not just by giving the people hope. You're giving them hope. But you, in turn, it's a full circle. You give your own self hope. And now that you have that, you'll be fine. That's all people need sometimes is hope. Hope that they know now, hey, I'm going to change people's lives, and that makes me happy. And happiness is, like, that's what I want out of life, to be happy. This is amazing. I just want to ask you a personal question. I hope
Yes.
It's not too personal, but were you suicidal?
Yes, I was. I have been plagued with suicidal thoughts since my diagnosis in 2011, and I've actually had times where I've spent time on the psychiatric ward. And again, I'm at the point now where I'm no longer going to be ashamed about what I've gone through or what I've endured to get to where I'm at. Because while I'm hiding in the shadows and being ashamed, people are killing themselves. People are not getting the help they need because they too are in fear. And just by that one post from the Be on TV channel, people went and got help. People said, I went to the doctor today. People told me they were taking their medication. People told me they told their family. So if I have to bring myself out so that someone else can get help, I'm willing to do that.
Yes. And doesn't it feel like, okay, those were horrible things that happened to you with the sexual abuse in the military and the other things, seeing the combat. I mean, it's not like a horrible thing that happened to you, but horrible things that you saw that you cannot erase from your brain. So, but that is something that people feel shame about, to show emotions like that affected me, that's affecting my life now, and it was so many years ago, but for some reason a lot of the veterans feel shame from that. But thank goodness it's been washed away from you by this happening, by touching other people's lives. You can just wash that away. And now you might want to just embrace that, everything that happened to you, because now there's finally a reason. Now you're finally seeing why. Because you probably did ask, why did this all happen to me? Now you know, hey, this happened to me so I can help others. Do you see it like that? That's how I kind of am seeing that.
I would say now I feel like it didn't happen to me, it happened for me. And to be able to help other people, just like you say. But something they said to us in the challenge that really resonated with me, they used the acronym HOPE, help one person every day. And ever since I heard that, it gave me a mission. As long as I could help one person every day, that gave me hope that I would have an impact and I had a reason to be here. So no matter how bad it gets, no matter how I feel or what's going on, if I can just hold on to that thought, help one person every day, and I cannot help them if I'm not here. So I'm making that my new mission, to spread hope.
You know what? I'm writing that down right now, because that's something I would like to live by every day. Thank you.
And it's important, too, because just like when Johnny was talking about us being on the challenge together, helping each other to grow channels or to do whatever we want to do, that's part of what the challenge does. It encourages you to reach out to the people in the group that you make connections with and help each other professionally and personally develop. And that's an important part of what they do.
The teamwork.
Mm-hmm. Teamwork, definitely teamwork. And the people in the group, I was just saying, people in the group have been very supportive of me. They have reached out in ways that I can't even begin to express on this podcast, to let me know that I matter, to let me know that there is support and help available, to even so far as to call and check to see if I need someone to talk to. Am I okay now? It's been amazing.
Oh, wow. Because you're not just somebody that they're probably used to having, somebody who wants to be on TV or wants to be a producer or director and has this creative side that they just have always longed to do, and then now they have this wonderful company behind them to show them how to do those steps. But you came in a completely different way to them. And so, thank goodness, whoever's running this had their eyes open and saw this gem, which is you, and what it was doing to change people's lives and what you can do. And you have just only begun. I mean, you just started. You just won. And look at how much change you've already done. Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now,
I did.
What did you win the grand prize, by the way? What did you win?
For the grand prize, I won a one-on-one coaching, a 2-on-1 coaching call with Jen and Chris, with Jen and Chris, and I also won the membership to the Super Connector Media's group that I'm going to get mentorship for a year. So I think it's a pretty nice package. It's a pretty nice package.
Wow, that is really nice. Is this Roku? Are you an advocate for this, what you just did, everything? Because for the listeners, just to know exactly what you guys are talking about, it sounds wonderful. Is it Roku? Okay.
No, it was the Be Seen on Television challenge, and it's done by Super Connector Media. And I'm not sure if they're going to do another one, but I will tell you that they build precept upon precept to help you be able to pitch yourself and present yourself to the media so that you can grow your channel, grow your business, actually, not just your channel, but grow your business. Because, we're marketing ourselves. How do we get people to let our message get out? They're going to help people get their message across. And I'll give you an example. For me, there's a thing called the one-sentence intro. So if I was going to do my one-sentence intro that I learned from the training, it was, I'm Brenda Warren. I am the solutionist. I help the voiceless find their voice. I help people show up so they can power up to live well-balanced lives through a positive messaging. Life is too short to live in the negative. That's my one-sentence intro, if somebody wanted to know what I do.
I love it. And you can help me. Oh, my gosh. I can help other people a lot more easily than I can help my own self, because you're like, okay, now I'm overwhelmed. What should I put into my one little paragraph here? I mean, to say it all about myself. And they teach you that. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so excited.
Yes. That's one of the things they taught us how to write bios. They teach us how to do a pitch. I did one of the pitches that I wrote and sold out was isolation frustration. That's a term I actually came up with. My son actually, in fact, I was trying to find somebody to talk about isolation, and he says, "What about isolation frustration?" And what isolation frustration is when people throw caution to the wind and just go out and not wear their mask, not do what we're supposed to do, social distances. And a Stafford study has shown that 18-year-olds to 31-year-olds were more likely to go against the social distance and the isolation rules. So that was my pitch for a show. And then I talked to them about the creative ways we can help prevent isolation frustration.
I love it.
So each time you want to get your message across, you have, if you want to do it the professional way, you create a pitch and you send it to the different radio stations, the podcast. Like for you guys, if somebody wanted to come on your podcast that you didn't invite, they should present you with a pitch telling you why they should take up airspace with you guys. And so they teach us how to do that.
the way I remember it is that they say you say who you are, then you say the problem, and then you say the solution. Is that right?
You say what the problem is first, then
right.
You pitch yourself next, and then you provide talking points, and then you tell them how to contact you.
Okay.
Oh,
so
wow.
A good example of this, I think, would be if we were to talk about how. Here's a good example. Okay. Let's say that we were talking about moms who are being frustrated by the COVID because their kids are wanting to go back to school, and I don't know if you have any kids, Brenda. I know Barbara does. She has a daughter named Priscilla, and I heard Barbara talking about this very problem the other night. And then then you would make a pitch on who you were, and then you would say with the talking points. Now, what are the talking points?
Okay, so like if we were doing it because of, I have a 19-year-old college student. If we were going to do a pitch based on the scenario you gave, we would say, American moms are frustrated with the kids being at home and going back to school is causing stress. A Stafford study shows that 9 out of 10 moms are having frustration with back to school and the possibility of kids having to be homeschooled, and how will they continue to do their jobs. And then you go to the next step of that pitch would be, Jonathan Alexander is an expert on moms handling the pressures of kids going back to school. Jonathan's going to show you ways to help prevent frustration and to make the transition from homeschool back to school with ease. And then your talking points.
Wow.
Yeah. Your talking points would be talking point. You say we're during this segment. Jonathan will tell you how to set up a homeschool in your dining room with ease. Talking point number 2 would be Jonathan's going to teach you how to get the kids to trust you instead of their teacher. Talking point number 3 is going how to create creative connections with your school system and the moms at home. And number 4 would be how to de-stress after you've taught your kids. And then the final thing would be you can contact Jonathan at such and such and such Life, Love, and Happiness podcast.
Okay. I can see why you
won
won because it just rolled right out of you so easily. It just flowed out of her, didn't it, Johnny?
Yeah. I mean, the reason I say that is I mean, you have to be open. We all have to be open to learning. I'm not saying that I've come far, in my journey with my show, but I'm always wanting to learn more about how to get the word out, how to get word out about the show out. But the thing is that it's like people do help you out more than you realize. I've always been open and accepting that people help me out. I mean, Barbara's helped me out a number of times. She's always she'll bring guests on, and then she'll be like, oh, okay, I have my friend. And this is another thing that I love. I'm teasing Barbara a little bit, but whenever Barbara makes a video or makes a post or something, she'll say, did you like that post I made? Did you like that video I made?
I guess I need a little bit of confirmation, from people. I mean, some people need it. Hey, you do good
like stuff. You do
I need
to
know.
I'm just saying that it's just
Thanks,
that it's.
Johnny.
I love this.
But
it's kind of cute the way you do that.
Thank you. Well, thanks, Johnny. You helped me too, and I appreciate that. And even little things. It's so nice to have a wonderful person that is so willing to help. Like simple things like, okay, how do I change my password on Facebook? And then Johnny does go right to work, and he will get me everything I need. He will not stop until it is done. I love that about Johnny.
There is also something that you can do on Facebook to where if you get locked out of Facebook, who do you go to? you have someone that you can go to get the help. But I think that probably we should probably set each other up for that. Don't you think? Because,
okay. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I mean, if because obviously, we both use it for the show. And if one of us didn't have that resource, then it would be a bad thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, because my friend Kurt, when he lost his somebody broke into his hotel room, and he was faraway land, okay, Bangladesh or something like that. And he got his computer, laptop, and phone stolen. He could not get into his Facebook until he got home. He doesn't even know how he even got home. I mean, he just was really lost. So that's a good idea, Johnny. And also, I set up this thing, like, if I die, I'm not invincible. There is a thing on Facebook that who's going to take care of your Facebook page after you die. I choose my best guy friend for 25 years, who is also my agent. I chose Kurt, and I have him on there, so he can take it over, and he's the only one who can go in and see. So you have to have somebody who you really don't care, see all your messages and things. Maybe I don't know what they see, but I told him also, come and get my computer. And my silver case. You're in control. Because you have, I'm sure, one person that you could trust with that. Like your son. Your son sounds amazing, Brenda.
I think you would be.
College.
I think you have to have. It's easier when it's a business account. Sometimes people with their personal accounts, they have stuff they don't want other people to see. But a business account, it's easy to have one or two people on it for just in case.
Yes.
On it from there.
Good. Well, it sounds like you really learned a lot, but then you also had obvious talents. You had natural talent for this, and possibly also all of your experience in the military and working. What did you do at the hospital? I wanted to ask you that. What was the job again that you did there?
I was the director of environmental services. I ran 4 departments at the hospital.
That's a lot. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. And that's the thing what I think people, when they hear this, what I think a lot of times they don't think about is that even if you have mental issues, you can still be, there are a lot of functioning members of society that have mental issues. But we have such a stigma about it, which makes it hard for people to come forward and say, hey, I have a problem. Because imagine if you were my employee and you found out I had a mental issue.
You're the head of their department plus 3 others.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's not something you want to go, hey, by the way, boss, I have a problem. No, you don't want to do that because there's a fear of loss of livelihood. How would you, keep your job? I was still doing my job. I was still getting great reviews. But, again, I would come home and melt down daily. And that went on for 3 years. And so now, like I told the people at the Be on TV challenge, I'm no longer willing to walk in the shame of that. I'm simply going to live my life. It is what it is, and I'm going to do my best to help other people the way I wasn't helped. I think it's important to get people. I think it's important to get the stigma erased so that people will get help and they will not hit the bad space.
Yes. Don't let them to even get to that point that you even were at yourself. So, because that's a danger. That's a danger zone, obviously. So, okay. But are you ashamed of it anymore?
Honestly, I can tell you, yes, I still feel the shame of it. It's like it's not been that new for me, but there's a thing of in the military to tell you have to do it afraid. Right now I'm doing it afraid. I'll probably get off this phone and ask myself, did I say too much? But I can't worry about that right now because there may be somebody else that hears this tonight, and because they heard this tonight, they'll go get help.
Well,
Yes.
you always try here on the show to make sure that people feel welcome with saying how they feel. Don't you think that's true, Barbara?
Oh, of course. That's what Johnny's always said from the beginning. He wants the show to be a safe place that people can go to express themselves and talk about anything. And so it's amazing to me that you two, Johnny and Brenda, during this were put together and worked as a team, and you got to know each other, because I think you were good for each other, especially, Johnny. For you, I work with Johnny. He's so loving. He doesn't have a mean bone in his body. You needed that, like, comforting person, probably. I mean,
Yes.
How was it working? Yes. How was it working with? Can you elaborate a little bit on how it was working with Johnny?
We just the connection was mainly through seeing each other's posts and watching each other's videos, and then Johnny reached out to me mainly after the Be on TV challenge was over, and told me some of the things that he wanted to do, and I was on board for it because he wasn't sure if I would, and which I was surprised, because I thought, why would I say no? So I was very flattered and humbled that he asked for my assistance.
Well, it's sort of
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Empowering.
There may be some other people who, it was just like, what it is that I made I devoted some resources into getting some things made that required some resources that maybe, Paul, that maybe Brenda doesn't have. But then Brenda, she devoted time to have some resources on things that there's no way that I could have gotten or had. So that's why I'm thinking that maybe we can help each other out, because this, she's helping me do some things. Like I'm going to hopefully, if all goes well, I'm going to be doing some interviews, pitching our website and our website, the Life After Happiness one, and people are going to see our channel, and we're going to be getting a lot more. And have you checked out our channel yet, Brenda?
Honestly, no, I have not. I told you I'm not really into TV or anything like that, but I'm going to make it my point by tomorrow to get this done. Okay. But I mentioned something else because I've heard you say this a lot tonight, is that you have to begin to view that everyone is a potential customer, channel watcher, podcast listener. Yeah. And I'm not sure if you already do that. You may, but I did something because of the Be on TV channel that I never would did before. I put out a "You Have Not Because You Asked Not" video on my Facebook page about asking for people's help to build my website, to learn certain things, and lo and behold, people came in and for free. So I was very impressed with that.
Yeah. It actually feels a whole lot better. This is another good analogy of it is that, a lot of times we have these goals, and these goals are like 500-pound boulders that we have to push. And then, I don't really even think about it as a 500-pound boulder now that Barbara helps me push it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's sort of like there's all these people that are about there helping me push it. I don't even think about the weight of the boulder. I just think that, I know it's going to get pushed. And,
I think the other thing, too, is remember,
at all.
I think outside the box. So here's the thing. You got to think about this. What is the likelihood of a person that did not even want to be on TV winning the grand prize of a Be on TV channel and now having their own TV show?
I know.
That makes absolute. There were people that would have killed to be in my position right now, but it's mine, and that's part of how I tell them. I said I have to laugh because when I signed up that morning, I wrote on the paper Brenda Warren, grand prize winner, and I stuck that little sticky up on the thing. So when I got the grand prize, I was not surprised because I have a practice that I call living in the now. And for me, now means no opportunity wasted. So I choose not to wait. I choose not to waste opportunities as they're presented. And I would say to you, Johnny, I can tell one thing. You're passionate about your channel, and you're passionate about the podcast, and I know that because every time we talk, you've asked me, have you checked it out yet? And I keep telling you no, but you keep asking me, and I love that. But let me tell you what, it won't ever bother me, but this is important why you do that. It's because you don't have to just do that with me because you think I can do something with that. You have to do that with everybody because you're not going to do things traditionally. And I think that that's why your channel is going to be so awesome because your concept to me is pretty awesome.
Yes, and actually I'm going to be making a second channel for Barbara in a few months.
Oh, cool.
And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be more, I think, for Barbara more than me. It's going to be more something that Barbara can, you know, it's sort of for her as an individual. It's sort of this is my thanks for her helping me out and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to make this a special channel for her.
That's good.
Oh,
that's good.
You. Yeah.
And see, that's the thing right there because you're so willing to help other people and do it. You can't help but be blessed and have what you're doing prosper.
Yeah.
So your time's coming. You don't have to worry about the different things that maybe I know you wanted to go on the BSA and different things like that, and that wasn't the right time right now. However, the things you want to do and the community that you're trying to build, I believe that's going to happen because you're so passionate about it.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
And I'm excited to see what you do with it.
I will tell you this. I spent, I think it was $30 to get on the Beyond TV channels. And there was a one of those pop quizzes, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I won one. And it was $55, and I got all my money back from doing the challenge. And I was so happy. I was like, so it turned out to be a, you know.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Okay. Go ahead, Brenda.
No, I was just going to say, you see, you can't beat that. Look at that. You go there, you pay for it, but then you win a prize, and it covers the cost that you sent there. So to me, that's right there a sign that you're on the right track and that you're helping other people as you do what you do.
Yes. I've seen Johnny go through some changes with things that have been happening with this show since I came along. We're going to be celebrating the show's, is it 13 years? Soon.
Yes.
And so Johnny was doing this for years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the 18th, by himself. And then he got another co-host. And things started happening more for him. And then I think about a year after that, he hired me. And then things were really more rapidly happening. You know, I built the website. I said, okay, look, you have like all these shows. Let's get them up on YouTube. We got the YouTube channel, the Twitter, the Facebook. And things really started happening. And then he was like, I think he was feeling a lot of anxiety because things were happening so much that he felt more pressure because you do. That's natural. And he wasn't used to feeling that pressure. And when he felt like maybe he couldn't handle that pressure or maybe he was going to disappoint somebody that was expecting something of him, he would go into a little bit of a depression. So I knew about depression because I grew up with a sibling who dealt with, he was bipolar and he was depressed. Not that Johnny's bipolar, but, depression. And I know how to talk to somebody like that. I started to build him up and say, look, enjoy that. This is what you've been working for, Johnny, to have recognition, to have people interested. I mean, just be afraid. Don't push that away. It's going to happen. It's going to be great. And, goals are going to be attained. Enjoy that feeling. I saw it slowly happening. I have not heard a peep out of Johnny for a long, long time about any kind of depression. Right, Johnny?
Yes.
See, that's a good sign of a good support system. Unfortunately for me, right now, my support system was not the best, but I can say that thanks to the crew on the Be on TV Challenge, I have an excellent support system, and it's a genuine one. People that did not even know me 2 weeks ago have reached out and laid the foundation for some support that I was not even expecting. So it's been an interesting ride.
I sent a friend request to everybody in the group. I mean, because I wanted to. We had, it was interesting. And I actually told. They told us to get. And you're gonna love. I'm gonna tell you. I love this story, Barb. But this was they told us to get an accountability buddy, which was somebody that would hold you accountable. And I got this lady who was an accountability person. I forgot what she wanted to do. She wanted to do her own television station or something, which is ironic because that's what I was doing. I mean, I had my own radio station, and I told her, I said, well, this is what I'm doing, and I'm going to tell this story because this has to do with part of the reason why I think the show runs so well. We're designed to talk about any topic. And this is important. And I'm not trying to bring up a sad story, but this is sort of relevant. There was one show where apparently that morning Barbara's cat had been killed by a coyote. Do you remember this, Barbara?
Well,
did we lose?
What part? Part do I remember? What part?
Your cat.
I mean, of course I remember my cat. Yes, I do remember my cat getting killed. Of course I do.
Right. Well, actually, there's a silly question, but let me explain. What happened was that because we're designed to talk about everything instead of just one topic, we did a show on it. And see, the whole point is, if we had told her, I'm sorry, Barbara, we can't talk about this. We have to talk about this now. Barbara would have bottled it up. But because Barbara, that was telling the accountability partner, that because, I wanted Barbara to be able to let that out. I wanted Barbara to be able to talk about it. Does that make sense?
Right.
Oh, yeah. It was great. It's good. That's one of my perks. I can always talk about anything. I have people who are listening, and we have built that support system that you're talking about. At first, it wasn't so much there. The listeners didn't really know me or, I guess, feel comfortable, didn't really acknowledge me even. I'm the host, and they would never even say hi, Barbara, or thanks, Barbara, or nothing about. All of a sudden, it just changed, didn't it, Johnny? When it became just Johnny and myself, it was just the two of us, it really started to, gel together. So sometimes people, things don't just happen, overnight, just sometimes they do. Magical things do happen, moments and great things happen, but it takes time and work and, cultivating things. And all of a sudden it just gelled, and I started to get this confirmation from the listeners, and it just made me feel so good, that feeling that they appreciated, me and what I did. And I remember them, I remember their voices and their names, and they're calling in every week. I've been doing this for over a year. And that was really such a good feeling for me personally. I really enjoyed that they were kind of finally accepting me. And so I love that. That was a great moment. So we need to. I love the quote that you have on your Facebook that says, you tell me again, you are trying to enjoy your every moment. Exact words, though. I mean, I love that because we could lose sight of that thinking, okay, I'm going to rejoice when this happens or when I attain this goal or I, make this happen. No. What about right now? Tell us how you came to that thought process of I want to enjoy this right now, this moment.
Well, because I had a really good friend pass, and we had been talking about that. We were both on a journey to lose weight, to get out of toxic relationships and things, and we were when I find this man that loves me, when I weigh 130 pounds, when my hair grows, and all that stuff women have a tendency to do. And I remember waking up and my friend was gone. And I thought, you know what? I need to learn to enjoy every moment. And I started doing things differently. I started realizing that at that time, the body I had right then that day was 265 pounds. And it was, you know what? It wasn't the body I wanted to be in, but it was the body I had, and I was going to enjoy it right now. My hair had fell out, but I was going to enjoy it right then. I was going to eat off the good plates. I got rid of the habit of only using the good plates when company come. I started treating myself the way I treated company and decided I would not treat anybody better than I treat myself.
Oh, wow.
And when I made that shift,
so much.
when I made that shift, the weight started coming off. My hair started growing back. I started to declutter my house. It was amazing because I started enjoying things right then, right there. We hold on to so much excess baggage in our life and things that we don't need, and then we wonder where the years have gone. You know, I'm no longer, you know how, I don't know about you, but I had like these favorite T-shirts that I wear with holes and stuff, and not anymore. I refuse to wear a shirt with holes in it.
Brenda,
I deserve the best.
You have said so many things. Oh, my gosh. You have said so many things that I've been going through as well. I have been purging for 2 days stuff like those T-shirts, because if I put that on and I don't feel good in it, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of icky, but it's okay. I'm not going to run into anybody. No, you're you. Don't you deserve to, when you put something on, to feel good? And everything
it makes a difference in how you show up. And I didn't realize that until my friend passed, because if I wear my regular old frumpy T-shirt, guess what? I'm walking around regular old frumpy. But when I put on my nice, pristine Nike shirt, I carry myself differently. And I didn't think about that, but I realized that it matters how I show up.
Oh, wow. I love that you touched upon those things that I've been going through right now, because you are making it really happen for me, because I tend to put like emotion on the thing, like, oh, my dad gave me that T-shirt, I have to keep it forever. I feel like I'm throwing away a part of him if I throw that away. No, I have to get rid of that way of thinking, and you just helped me do that, because since you
know
did
what
it,
I did with that?
Thought, okay, I could do it.
You know what I did, Barbara? I was having that thing because my mother passed, and I kept all of her stuff, and I actually was living like a hoarder for a few years because I refused to get rid of any of my mother's stuff. I just stacked it in my house and left it. But then I realized I wasn't honoring my mother. I wasn't honoring her memory. I was living in her death instead of celebrating her life. So I began to I rehomed a lot of the stuff I find in like single moms or something that needed the good stuff. The bad stuff went in the trash, and then the stuff that was sentimental that I really didn't have a place for, I took pictures of it and I let it go. I kept like a really special punch bowl and a couple of little things like that, and realized I can't keep everybody else's memories. But I could take a few of them and put them in prominent places where when I look at them, I remember the good stuff, like all the beautiful birthday parties and Christmases and Thanksgiving my mother served us in that punch bowl. But I didn't have to have all of her stuff in my house.
Right.
And then it reminded me of something.
Pull you down. It's a ball and chain, right? It's just
right. It was just it was drawing me down. It wasn't good. And it's something I tell people a lot. I say the choices you make today will be the reality you live tomorrow. Choose wisely. It wasn't choosing wisely to have all this clutter in my house. It wasn't choosing wisely to keep clothes that I no longer fit because, I'm going to get back into that. Well, no. Guess what? I can buy clothes that fit me when I get to that size. I don't need to hold on to this. And if I gain weight again, guess what? I can buy bigger clothes. But why have a whole closet full of clothes you don't even wear when you're wearing the same 7 pieces? Didn't make sense.
What? Everybody does this. Everybody does it. And, okay, when you declutter your closet and you go in and all you see is things that you love, that are new, that make you feel good, gosh, your life is so much easier.
So much easier.
So less time. It just takes so much time to weed through all of those horrible choices that are so old. And they're
you can get dressed better.
Yes.
Dress faster and dress nicer.
and just have you have a lot of your basics, which you're going to have to buy your new basics every year. You want fresh. You want a fresh pair of jeans. You want the fresh pair of white jeans, the khaki pants, the dress pants, okay? Then mix and match everything. But you deserve it. You shouldn't walk around with the scuffed up shoes that you hope people aren't noticing. They are noticing, okay? They do notice, because I'm standing in line and I look around. I mean, you're just standing there and you think, oh, that's a nice pair, that's stuffy. And then you think, oh my gosh, people notice these horrible scuffed up heels. I'm going to get rid of it. And you can't even give that away to the Goodwill or a thrift shop. They're not going to resell a stuffy thing. Why are you even wearing it?
But
plus,
see, if you're creative, what you do is you redo them.
Yes.
See, there's options. I'm a creative, so we will put, if a heel gets scuffed, we throw some rhinestones on it and keep it moving.
Yes, I did.
We
repurposed
those
boots.
Johnny, do you have that problem?
Yeah.
What problem?
Do you have a wardrobe problem, or are you just like guys? Are you one of those guys that like jeans and T-shirts, or do you have a lot of clothes issues, or how do you do?
No, I don't care what I wear. I mean, but my mom.
Johnny has a new. Yeah. Johnny, you can't relate to this one. I'll tell you why, Brenda, because his mother makes sure that he has a crisp, new, in-style shirt. I have never seen Johnny wear anything old. He has a very nice wardrobe. And he has a few pieces that's what he needs. So he cannot relate because his mom still does it for him. Sorry, Johnny.
He's blessed. You are truly blessed, Johnny. I wish my mom was here to still do it for me.
He is. Oh, I know. Well, Brenda, I just want to ask you, though, do you ever now think, it hasn't been that long, like just a month since you've won, do you ever think, like, gosh, what if I never would have gone and signed up for this? I mean, even if you didn't win, the sign up and the going through and the learning of all of that sounds like that really changed your life in itself. The win was
if I hadn't won it, it would have been. It was amazing. The winning was the icing on the cake as far as the challenge itself is going. But I will say, the mindset shift that I got from attending this program is priceless. Because it's not that it wasn't there. It's like one of those things when something lays dormant, and you know who you are, but maybe you forgot. And I saw this thing on Pinterest that said she remembered who she was. And it changed everything. The TV challenge was a game changer for me. I remembered who I was, and I remembered whose I was. See, I had forgot who I was, and I definitely have forgot whose I was when I was walking through the fog. But I'm clear now. I got this.
I love it. Okay, if people go on your Facebook page, will they be able to get information on what you went through, the exact title and contact info, even though you said that they may not do another competition? Are they doing ongoing classes all the time?
No, right now we're in the BSA, but they can go to superconnectormedias.com, superconnectormedia.com, and find out about Jen and Chris. And if they want to find out about my stuff, my Facebook page is public. So they could tap on any of my videos, and they'll get an idea of who I am and what I've been through.
Wow. Okay, everybody, it's Brenda Warren on Facebook. So watch for me because I requested friendship to you, Barbara Moore. So watch for me. Because I would love to. Well, it's public, so I'll still be able to see your stuff. But I
did
just want
confirm
you to know that. Mm-hmm. Oh, good. Okay, I haven't checked since we started the show, but thank you. I'm so excited to go on there and check it out, and I'm also excited for future things that we're doing with you because obviously
I'm looking forward to
sorry
it too.
Earlier. Yeah,
I don't know if Johnny mentioned to you because
channel.
I do. I do try to post something every day. I do Money Matters Monday, Tell Yourself Tuesdays, Wellness Wednesdays, Thankful Thursdays, Fitness Fridays, Self-Care Saturdays, and Soulful Sundays. Soul Searching Sundays.
I love it. Oh, my gosh. Did you make all that up?
Yes, I did.
I love it.
It was how I was keeping myself grounded, giving me something to do, feel like I had a purpose. As I was spiraling out of control, if I did that, I felt better.
Mhm.
And then it just started sticking, and people started requesting, saying, don't stop them, please keep doing them. So I kept doing it.
I like it. It's catchy. It's very catchy. See, you have a lot of your own creative ideas that shine through, and this probably has given you so much confidence with winning. That's what winning does, and I love competition. It shows you that, hey, you know what to do. Be confident about it. Your decisions, you're making them correctly, and it must be such a huge boost to your confidence of, hey, I am good at this, and I want to help you. Is that how you feel? Like confident?
Yes,
Did it give you a big confidence boost?
I feel like it gave me a big confidence boost in the sense that it's something I was already doing, but I guess it's just something I never thought I'd do, if that makes any sense at all. But it wasn't even in my thought process. And I think the best part of this for me is that, like I said, it wasn't a desire to be on TV, but I did want to make better Facebook videos. I thought it would give me that.
Mm-hmm.
So moving to the point of TV, I had to expand my view, because now what that just means is that I'll have a greater impact. And it also gives the ability to help people. And, like, I'm excited to come alongside Johnny and see what I can do to help support him to grow what he wants, because what I do, even before this, was I'm the solutionist. I'm the one that figures out what someone needs and helps them get there. I help other people grow their businesses. I just never charged for it. So now I'm going to start down the path of creating a business that's going to allow me to do that.
How wonderful and perfect timing for your retirement.
I've been retired since 2000.
Oh. And so kind of like, well, not kind of, but, you know, wallowing in depression and floundering around. And
I retired from the Marine Corps in 2000, and then I went to the hospital, and I came off my job in 2013.
Wow.
But even though, and here's the thing, this is why I tell you how insidious mental health is, because although I had the mental breakdown, once I got myself semi-together to where I was stable, I was still helping other people grow their businesses. I was still coaching other people. I just, like I said, I wasn't charging it for it because it's eliminating the belief that, oh, I have a mental problem. I can't charge people for this. But guess what? I was getting results.
Yeah, you were functioning just fine. I think that you were putting it both together, thinking how I can't charge because I'm not perfect. Hey, Nobody's perfect. Nobody is. And you know what? Probably every single person out there has some kind of a mental problem, if they want to call it a problem. It's like we are human. So, wow, this is just an amazing story. And I'm sure that this couple these two people who are running this business are so grateful that you came along.
Yes,
and
they've been very supportive.
Like they're wonderful. Wonderful
they are
people,
very,
huh?
Jen and Chris did, it's a business, but what they do is much more because they did over-deliver for what they promised us to do, and the support they provided us, the connections they gave us. It's just, think about this right now. Johnny and I have connected, and he didn't move on to the next stage. However, they created an environment that says, regardless, if you're part of this community, help each other. And I can say that Johnny's not the only person that didn't move on to the next phase, but has still stayed connected with me and is still supporting me and still helping me in my personal and professional growth. So they created an environment that said hope is important. Help one person every day. They live by that.
That's a wonderful thing to live by. And I did write that down. Yes. Because if we're seeking of who we can help, we're probably going to be ending up helping. We will end up to help more than one person. If that is our mindset, we'll probably help more than one that day because we're, in the back of our mind, we're always seeking to help. So you're going to help more than one. It's just a wonderful way to live your day.
It really is, because I can honestly say that I felt like I was helping people every day, but I would say I have an awareness now that I'm really helping people, if that makes any sense, because before I did it daily and I knew people were being helped because I would get the little, oh, thank you, Brenda, this really resonated with me, or I saw this. But now my eyes have been open that I am helping people, and I'm definitely helping more than one person every day, and that is a good feeling.
Wow,
and I
wonderful.
think it's important because for me what that does is it reminds me not to create another unnecessary silence, to keep my voice lifted so that other people's voices will be lifted.
Okay, good. So you are aware that, hey, don't let myself ever slip back into that, what happened before.
Right.
Always say, like, you have a voice every single day, and you're going to use it so that will never happen.
And I would just like to say that if anybody out there finds themselves in the situation where you feel like you need somebody to talk to, the crisis hotline number is 1-800-273-8255, and if you're a veteran, press 1. There's people always there 24/7 willing to help you just like they helped me.
Okay, good. I'm glad that you say that there are always people there, the veterans, because sometimes they just don't think anybody cares. But you just gave a number and you said that they're there. So I hope that everybody will do that and seek you out because you're amazing. Wow.
Yes, I'm here to be a helper. If anyone needs to talk, message me, hit me up on Facebook. I'll be there for them.
A solutionist? Is that what you call yourself?
Yes, I am Brenda Warren. I am solutionist.
I love that. I love it. Yeah. Let's think of some great words out there, people, to describe ourselves and come up with this paragraph. And we're going to learn so much. We're going to learn so much from Brenda. I just know it. And I'm so honored to have met you today. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Johnny, for inviting me. It's been a pleasure talking to the two of you. I hope we get to do this again soon, and I look forward to helping in any way I can.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Well, night,
and we will be posting. Oh, hold on, Johnny. I haven't done the shout-out yet. Okay?
You're right. Yes.
Okay.
Right.
We will be posting this show, the link to this show, which will be found on our YouTube channel, Life, Laughter, Happiness YouTube, and we will post that on our Facebook page. So stop by there and collect that link or go straight to YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe while you're there. Support us. And we thank all of you listeners. We love to hear from you on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Life, Laughter, Happiness. We love you all. Thank you for listening, and thank you so much, Brenda. So Brenda Warren, she's on Facebook, and if you didn't catch that phone number, contact her. Ask her. She's there. She's ready and willing to help you. What a wonderful story and testimony we witnessed today from you, Brenda. So thank you so very much.
Thank you. And, Barbara, I'm also on Instagram, Brenda Warren 2037. I keep forgetting that.
Okay. I love Instagram. That's my main one that I love so much, too. Okay, I'll definitely connect you there, too. All right. And thank you so much, Johnny, for everything you've done.
Yeah.
Well, good night, Barbara. Good night, Brenda.
Good night. Have a great one. Be blessed.
Good night, you